Hey everyone, Mucklick Douglas Bartholomew Reginald Esquire IV here, and this is a guide on how to get a Skyscale and Secrets of the Obscure. There are two ways of getting the Skyscale as of now. One in Path of Fire combined with Living World Season 4, which is a very long process and has its own mastery lines, and a newer way that is much shorter in SotO that also has its own mastery lines. In the long term, you will want to get access to both mastery lines, but if you click this video, you are probably getting your first Skyscale, so let's explain how to do that. If you already have the Skyscale from Living World Season 4, earning your second Skyscale will still get you the 300 AA in the Wizard's Vault. This may change in the future. Plus, it is a prerequisite for getting the Kryptis Skyscale skin, if you desire that. Soon after starting SotO, you'll get access to the Flight Training Mastery line. Earn the Who Rescues Whom Mastery, and then you'll be able to see an achievement called A New Friend in the achievements list. This achievement is what will eventually get you your Skyscale. I'm going to pause here real quick and mention that you are going to need these materials. So you will want to save these up, but you can knock out many of the steps before needing them to save time later. But of special import is the 12 charged quartz and the 29 provisioner tokens, because for the most part you can only make one charged quartz per day by carrying 25 quartz to a channeled hero point. So start doing that and saving 12 of these up. The provisioner tokens come from many different sources, but you can only obtain them once in each way per day. So you could do 29 various trades in one day, or do the same 3 trades 10 days in a row, or anywhere in between. Here are a few I recommend that I find easy. Black Citadel. From this waypoint, run up to this guy, and you can get 1 for 1 obsidian shard per day. Lion's Arch. From this waypoint, you can go to this scrit and trade 5 ectos for a token. If you have Heart of Thorns, Verdant Brink, this waypoint, talk to this person, you can trade 1 reclaimed metal plate for 1. And lastly, Auric Basin. This waypoint, this script can trade an Auric Ingot for 1 per day. Again, there are many ways to get these, but these are the ways that I like to use. You will also need the Rising Spirits Mastery by the end of this, so go ahead, use an XP booster, and start pouring your XP into that mastery line while you work on these achievements. Okay, so step 1 is to find an abandoned Skyscale egg. To make this as easy as possible, here are a couple of pictures of the locations of the spawn points for the egg nests that can drop them. Credit to users Mrouth and Brailing Logic on the Guild Wars 2 subreddit for posting these maps. Just check the nests one by one until you eventually find it. In my case, I checked all the ones in the archipelago, then found mine in one of the first locations in Amnitus. After you get the egg, go to Skyscale Trainer Diani at the Beacon of Ages. She is west of the waypoint. She will give you 3 new achievements. Each of them, once completed, will check off a step of A New Friend. I will go through these one by one, but you can do these 3 in any order. Skyscale Egg Infusions. Before listing off their locations, a quick note. You have the option of purchasing the infusions from Diani if there are any you really don't want to do. They are a bit expensive, but it's an option if you want to spend resources instead of spending time. Okay. Again, you can do these in any order. Here we go. Skyscale of Water. Go to Castival Waypoint in Bloodtide Coast. Swim down until you find this concentration of magic. Skyscale of Fire. Go to the Black Citadel and jump into the lava at the Great Imperial Smelter. Skyscale of Ice. Go to Bitterfrost Frontier and jump into one of the ice storms. If you do not own the Bitterfrost Frontier Living World season, you can also get the update during the Claw of Jormag World Boss fight. I got it from Bitterfrost myself so that I didn't have to wait on the World Boss to spawn. Skyscale of Earth. Go to Prosperity Waypoint in Drytop and jump into the quicksand. Skyscale of Air. In Mount Maelstrom, interact with the cluster of wind at the top of the Hidden Garden jumping puzzle. If you're unfamiliar with the Hidden Garden puzzle, my advice is to look in the group finder for someone there and use a teleport to friend on them and mail them a tip for their help. It will save you a lot of time. If you wish to do this the old-fashioned way, there are certain mobs you have to kill to open portals that lead into the garden, allowing access to the puzzle. If you wish to do it this way, I will link the Hidden Garden wiki page down below that has their spawn locations. Skyscale of Life. Revive 20 allies. I found this very easy to do by doing world bosses, especially Claw of Jormag, as a lot of people go downstate on that one. Skyscale of Blood. Kill 100 enemies around the Blood Hill camps. That's the Centaurs of Gendaran Fields. This is the only one I personally purchased from Diani simply because I just didn't want to do this one. Skyscale of Growth. Go to Reckoner's Waypoint in the Grove and follow this path through a tunnel to find it. Skyscale of Death. Go to Murdered Dreams waypoint in Cursed Shore and run west. You will see the marker over a casket. Skyscale of Spirit. Go to Dewclaw waypoint in Iron Marches and go to this hero point with the Searing Cauldron. Interact with it. Small note here. While I had quartz in my inventory, I was unable to get the quest update because it kept trying to make charged quartz instead, so don't carry quartz with you while trying to get this update. Skyscale of Fear. Go to Fallen Angels Garrison waypoint in Ebonhawk. Go southwest until you see chickens and attack them. Once they fight back, you will get the update. Skyscale of Courage. Defeat 4 world bosses. While working on this one, I did the Death-branded Shatterer in Jahai, and it did not count. I believe they have to be Central Tyria world bosses. This can be done at the same time as the Claw of Jormag thing or the Revive People step. As a reminder to new players, at any time you can type /wiki_ET in-game to pull up the Event Timer's webpage that shows you what world bosses are up or about to be up. Once all of the egg infusions are done, go back and talk to Diani to turn this in. Skyscale Growing Comforts. For growing comforts, you will need these materials mentioned earlier. First, the Skyscale treats. You can buy these from Diani herself using the charged quartz, meat, ectos, and bloodstone dust. Kryptis skin. Defeat Kryptis to get this. I got it after doing a single rift after reaching this step. Tasty trail ration. Drops from Jotuns. I went to the Osenfold Shear in Wayfarer Foothills to get this. Tasty Devourer Carapace. Drops from Devourers. I went to the northwest plains of Ashford and killed them there to get this. Tasty Chak legs. I went to the Tangled Depths in Heart of Thorns and killed Chak anywhere there for this. If you do not own Heart of Thorns, there are some Chak in the Skywatch Archipelago on the islands. Tasty Moss-covered branch. Drops from Tree Ants. I got this from the neutral Tree Ants all over Gandard Fields north of Lion's Arch. Tasty Wurm segment. I went to Krenak's Homestead waypoint in Wayfarer Foothills, then to the cave under the frozen lake to get this from the worms. Tasty Ooze-Cured meat. Drops from oozes. There's a cave with a bunch of them in northwest Gandharn Fields that has a hero point in it. I got mine from those oozes. Forged ankle joint. I got this from the forged enemies in the archipelago while I was doing rift hunting without realizing it. Bird whistle. Purchased from Gortho, son of Malik, near Gladefall Run in the Iron Marches for 2 gold. Plush Quaggan. Purchased from Sven Edson in the Wizard's Tower for 10 gold. Heavy Duty Dolyak Blanket. Purchased from Herder Liat near Bouldermouth Vale in Lornar's Pass for 3 gold. Once you have all the items on this list, turn them into Diani. Next, Skyscale Saddle Materials. For the Skyscale Saddle, you will need these materials. The earlier mentioned Provisioner tokens, 375 Pinch of Stardust, those come from doing events or the meta in Amnitus, 375 Static Charge, which comes from doing events in the Archipelago or its meta, and 500 Essence of Despair from closing Tier 1 rifts. If you don't already know, you can use motivations to get way more essences while rift hunting, like close to 30 essences instead of 5 per rift, drastically reducing how much time that step requires. I have a quick guide on how to use the motivations if you need it, link down below. Okay, you've got the currencies, where do we take them? Stardust Infused Leather, purchased from the Faction Provisioner at the Bastion of the Natural in Amnitus. Mist Infused Saddle Oil, purchased from the Faction Provisioner at the Bastion of the Obscure in Amnitus. Jade Spun Silk Thread, purchased from the Faction Provisioner near Jade Mech Habilitation Zone 3 in Skywatch Archipelago. Durable Saddle Hardware, purchased from the Faction Provisioner at the Bastion of Strength in Amnitus. Rich Maguman Mahogany, purchased from the Faction Provisioner in Radanovis Promenade in Skywatch Archipelago. Saddlebag of Holding, purchased from the Faction Provisioner at the Bastion of Balance in Amnitus. Deldramore Rivets, purchased from the Faction Provisioner at Draknar's Light in Skywatch Archipelago. Garenhof Weave Cloth, purchased from the Faction Provisioner at Wizard's Ascent in Skywatch Archipelago. Alonian Sandpaper, purchased from the Faction Provisioner at the Skyward Marches in Skywatch Archipelago. Extra Sticky Tar, purchased from the Faction Provisioner at the Bastion of Knowledge in Amnitus. And finally, return to Diani with all of these items. Next up, if you haven't obtained it already, you need the Rising Spirits Flight Training Mastery. One last trip to Diani, and congratulations, you've obtained a permanent Skyscale you can use anywhere. Now a few notes. An hour after doing this achievement, a new one will become available called a New Look, which offers a Skyscale Kryptis skin, very spooky, if you wish to do it. Also, if this is your first Skyscale, you will want to eventually get the masteries from Path of Fire and Living World Season 4 to give your Skyscale even more maneuverability and tricks, but there is no rush on that. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button for the YouTube algorithm, leave a comment with any tips and tricks on this topic, and subscribe for more content. If you need more Guild Wars 2 guides, you can find them all in the guides playlist on this channel or in a more organized form on mucklocklabs.com. Special thanks to our patrons who make content like this possible. If you're interested in joining their number, there's a link to that down below. Happy flying!